Deuce close. Mastering Madden.
Hey, quick tip today for passing against these heavy edge contain blitzes that we're all seeing lately online. It's a concept that you can all use today. Okay, so you don't have to really, look for new plays, look for new formations, all of that. It's just a quick adjustment that you can do in your existing playbook, the existing plays that you're running. In most of the formations, maybe not some of the tighter compression sets, but in most of these formations, you can just mix it in right there, and it's going to help you a lot because it's really, really simple to learn. And again, you can throw it into whatever you're doing. So I've been using a lot lately. It's something that I kind of just developed as I went, just kind of freestyling it against seeing a lot of these blitzes, and it's worked so well for me that it's become a regular part of my gameplay. And all that is just taking out one of the edge blitzers. Usually with these edge blitzes, you see defensive ends out wide, just outside on the outside shoulder of the tackles. And then you have, a defensive back or two, or a defensive back and a linebacker on either side of those, on the outside, on contains. And usually, at least one of those is going to round that left tackle and come in for that sack. Instead of max protecting, instead of saying, I'm going to blitz 7 and then I'm going to try my guys against your guys, who's going to be better, we're just going to block one. We're just going to block the running back, take away one side of that blitz, and then we're going to read the other side of the blitz and base our play off of that. Okay, so you can think of it as akin to like a read option play where instead of saying brute force, how well can I block your guys? Well, we can take one player out of there by just reading what he's doing and doing the thing that, the opposite thing, essentially. Okay, so this is kind of the passing version of that. And again, you can use this out of really most formations and plays. I'm going to show you how to Y cross here just to start off with. And, we'll go against one of these, super meta blitzes right now, this Tampa 2 out of the nickel 3-3-5. So the setup's going to be something like this, where you're base aligning, shifting your linebackers away from the nickel. You're blitzing that outside linebacker. You're containing. You're bringing this guy right here, right beside that tackle, right beside that defensive end. You're probably putting this guy in a deep third, unless you're really aggressive. And the user is right here, hovering over the left guard for the first split second to a second of the play, just to make sure that cornerback comes through. Okay, so pretty good defense, but really what it is and what it boils down to, and I think this is important to understand if we want to start to simplify some of these blitzes, is that whatever it is, okay, whether it's a nickel 3-3-5 or it's dollar or it's some sort of 46 blitz or something like that, it's usually at least one of these edge contain guys. And if it's just one, in which case, let's just block our running back to that side, we'll probably be fine. Sometimes there's two. And then what there's going to be underneath is that there's going to be, above that is 3 underneath zones and 3 deep zones. Whether you're in a cover 2 shell or a cover 3 shell, it's fundamentally the same thing. You have 2 flat zones, whether those are coming from the cornerbacks or a safety and an outside linebacker, it really doesn't matter. There's 2 flats. They might be in a hard flat or whatever. You have 3 deep zones. In this case, you have it from the safeties and the middle linebacker. In cover 3, it's a little different. It comes from the cornerbacks. And you have one user defender that really has a lot of area to cover here. And even less because he's spending a little bit of time on that guard to help his players come through. Okay, so what that means is that, we can max protect here and hope they pick it up. And then we got kind of 3 routes against 5-6 defenders. Not really the greatest odds for us there. So instead, what I'm going to do is just pick one side, usually the side that the user's on, and I'll block that running back. Okay, so I can consider this edge defender all but taken out of the play. Okay, because 99% of the time that halfback's going to take him out. Now, the guy on the right, what I'm going to do is slide my protection towards his side. It's not really necessary anyway because we're going to read him out of the play. And what I mean by that is we're going to put a slant on his side. So right after the snap, we're going to read his assignment. If he's coming in for the blitz, we're going to throw that slant because there's no zones there to protect that area. If he isn't, if he drops back, we're going to leave that slant alone, and we're going to say, okay, we have enough time because the blitz is going to be picked up. We don't have to worry about both contains. We worry about the one side, and then we have all these other routes that we can work with. We have the tight end, we have the slot receiver, and we have this wide receiver over here. So I'll just show you right now what it'll look like. Right at the snap, again, watch that edge defender. He's blitzing, and we're just going to throw that slant here, and you're guaranteed at least 6 or 7 yards. A lot of the times you'll have even more space, and you can, break a tackle or make a spin move and take that upfield. And trust me, it's been working wonders for me. Okay, it's really simple too. So now all of a sudden your opponent has to start to think about, okay, that's definitely an option, a threat over there. It's not just a matter of, okay, I'm taking some of these players out because I'm bringing the blitz, so they have to block, and then I'm just using the other side of the field. Any crossers that come along. No, now you have to deal with this solo side wide receiver again. And again, you can do this out of a trips look. It doesn't really matter what you're in too much. You can do this out of here and leave that tight end and that slot and that other wide receiver to do whatever passing concept that you like with. Okay, so that's that. Again, it's just really, really simple. Just throw that slant if you see that blitz. So it's a really, really simple read. Again, a lot similar to a read option. Also, so if they're disguising it, so they're making it seem like they're bringing in that same blitz, but really they're making him drop back in coverage, we're not going to throw that slant. The slant's still going to be there because we don't know if he's running it or not, but we're not going to throw it. And then we have whatever we want on the other side. We have time. So we could do a little meshing concept here to preoccupy the user. We know, by the way, baseline Tampa 2 is a big play waiting to happen because we can just fade that wide side receiver. Once he clears that flat, we just throw the ball to him, and we get a huge chunk of yards, if not a touchdown. Okay, so really, really simple. Block one side of that edge heat with your running back and read the other side with a slant. If he blitzes, throw the slant. If he doesn't, use the rest of your routes. You have time. And, it works nicely against... let's just get into one of these nice concepts that I showed you guys in the Detroit Lions starter pack. This dig cross that I really like. I don't really know some of these setups for the cover 3, but let me just do this. I doubt anybody uses this, but you can imagine it would look something like this. So again, it's fundamentally pretty similar to the Tampa 2. You have the user in the middle, 3 deep zones, and then the 2 flats. It's not too much different, except some of the concepts that you might use on the other side there. Right here, you'd probably move this running back over to account for that side. You see the blitz, and you throw that slant. Usually, there's the flat there is going to come from the safety, and you saw even Eric Berry, like Regs Eric Berry, who's like 95 overall. He can't get there in time. You got your yards and then potential for yak. Or a lot of the times they don't actually even have a flat there. Especially if you're in trips, like they'll think, okay, what's that guy really going to do? If there's any crossers, I'll just use that. But really, an in or a slant, that's going to work wonders for you. And I think it works better than a flat from the running back because you're guaranteed a minimum 5, 6, 7 yards, and you can take that upfield. And then, you don't have to block the tight end in that case. So you have your tight end free, which to me is a lot more valuable than the running back. I'd rather just have the running back in to block. Then, if they set it up again, this sort of thing, again, this probably isn't a real setup, but it's probably something similar to this. Where you're here, you are blocking this side, reading the right side, and then you have your best cover 2 or best cover 3 beater on the left here. Sometimes these are really annoying. Okay, anyway, So let's run that. Oh, we see that edge defender comes out. And then we have our concept on the left there. Okay, so really easy stuff. Definitely use that slant on the solo side wide receiver to your advantage. These blitzes seem really hectic, but they're really simple when you break it down. Again, it's 95% of the time, it's 3 deep zones, 3 underneath zones, a user that has a lot of ground to cover, and then you have your edge heat that you can easily take one side away with a blocked running back, and then you can read the other side away without having to max protect. Okay, so I hope you guys like that. Definitely drop a like if you think it's going to help you out. Come back if it has helped you. Drop a comment or what have you. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.